Hey YouTube, Otto here. Today we are going scuba diving. I guess that's what you call this. Okay, here we are. And we are using the diving suit for pretty much one reason, really. It's because you don't aggro mobs, wild animals and stuff in the water when you have it on. And so we're going to be down here a little while. We've stocked up on oil. Our reason for being down here is a few reasons. We'll go over them. First off, I want y'all to know that I want you to know the depth I'm at, okay? That's a schooner right there, and what I did is I came in as close to shore as I could, and I was spamming X to drop the anchor, okay? And the moment it could drop the anchor, I dropped it. Okay, so now you know the depth I'm at. I'm at the very earliest you can. Actually, the maximum depth a schooner can drop its anchor. Okay, so we're gonna stay in line with that right there, so we can see it. Okay, and we're gonna start dropping blocks. Okay, and we're gonna go 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Now this is probably going to be harder. This is going to be harder because I got the suit on, but we'll see what we get here. 5. Okay. There you can see we're placing... That is the large... Okay, that is the large stone gateway. Okay. So, we got to zoom in some so we can see. So awkward like this. Okay, it's kind of hanging up a little bit on the platform. Or I'm sorry, on the... Okay, we're a touch off. It's not square. It should be hitting both sides. Okay, so there you can see that I put down, was it 12? I put down 12. Okay. And I think it is 7 or 8 wide. Okay, let's see what else we can do with this. I'm going to put down 2 rows because I have a plan for them. Create snap points is what I'm doing. I'm going to create a second row of the blocks here, the foundation blocks, okay, and they're going to be at the same height. It's kind of hard going up and down with your space bar and C, okay, to get yourself exactly where you need to be, like that right there if you want. The key though is the heavier you are, the better. Okay, and I have tons and tons of oxygen down here, okay? So I'm not going to sweat oxygen a whole ton. I made sure that when I went down I had 500 oil sitting in the diving platform. So, there. Okay, we're at the same height. And yeah, it could be a bit more problematic on official and stuff, or even other servers when you're doing it, because I think on there, when you go to put down a foundation block, if it's hitting something, it may not let you put it down, so what you would have to do is come out farther, okay? The ground itself, this is pretty steep, the ground itself may get in the way of you being able to put that down, okay? And so what you have to do is change where you're putting it down, get somewhere where it's not as steep, and it will let you get it down. And then, like, it's really hard to explain it to you without showing it to you, and I'm not having that problem here because my ground let me put all these down all the way across. You've seen it. And so sometimes you're not going to be able to put it down so simple. You're going to have to work it, okay? And so I think that's what I want. I'm going to create snap points. That's what these stone walls are for. I'm actually going to... Okay, see, now my guy's moving slower because I am quite a bit away here. Okay, but we're going to do that right there. And see, I'm putting these down. I'm going to try 3 on each side. What happens is if you have a wall down on your foundation blocks, often the gate will want to snap to it. Okay, it'll put the wall like in the middle of it somewhere, and it'll want to snap to it. It takes experience, it takes some practice, but once you do it a little bit, you're going to know when it's snapped to the wall. Going down through it, underneath it. This is like one of the easiest ways I've seen that you can get. I did it again. That you can get your gate to snap. Okay, that's what we want right there. And that's what you want. You want the gate to snap. It's just easier to do it that way. Okay, we're going to come out here. And I'm just going to use the big one. Now, if you look there, now I'm too wide there on the foundation. But by 2, I mean the number 2, okay? Okay. Sometimes it can be kind of tricky. And in some ways, to be honest, it's kind of a bit harder with the suit on. But the suit gives you more oxygen to be able to set things. If you're not too picky about where you have it, don't even sweat it. Go ahead and drop it wherever you want, and you're golden. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to come as close as I can to centering this. Okay, I'm going to move forward some and hope this thing snaps. Sometimes you got to bounce between views. That's K I'm hitting here. Sometimes you got to bounce between views to get what you're looking for. Often you got to slow your character down so he's not bopping all over the place. Okay, we're going to try that right there. Okay, it did go down through the foundation. That's not actually what I want. What you want is you want the gate above your 2 foundation blocks, your two rows of foundation blocks, because you need those foundation blocks to set up properly above it when you get up top. Okay, and if you look up top here, this is going to put the gate in the water. So you know I came right across from that anchor right there from that schooner. So you know I'm down here pretty deep because I'm at the maximum place where that schooner wants to anchor. I think that actually snapped. Yeah, I think that actually snapped. Yeah, it snapped. It's not dead on my walls, but that's okay. The reason for the walls was to get it to snap. Okay, now we'll come back in here and we'll tear the walls up. Don't need them. They were only as a guide to get it to snap, and it snapped. Okay, it's on the edge of my foundation here, so what I'm going to do... that might not work. Let's go ahead and place that one in. Sometimes you can't do this. Sometimes you can't place foundation blocks after it's already been put down. If that is your case, you're going to have to hurry up, pick the gate back up, and move it over. What it did is it snapped to this left-hand wall, and so if you're having a problem, just move your walls back. Okay, just move them over some. Find the side it wants to snap to, move them back. You know, tear some of these down, move them back, and you'll be golden. Okay, so here we go. We got the gate down. We're pulling the walls up. We don't need them there anymore. We'll take the mats. Let's see if I can grab that other one that's poking out here. I'm just kind of meticulous this way. Kind of picky stone wall. Okay, I got it. Make sure you're destroying the right thing. Oh, frack, what the heck? Okay, so what we've seen there is it destroyed itself because it was connected to the stone wall. I removed the stone wall and it didn't want to stay. And so what we're going to do is we're going to leave the stone wall. Apparently it was permanently bonded to it. That's okay though. I brought 2 just in case something like that happened. Okay, so there it is. It already snapped to it. And so we're going to leave it in this time. We're going to leave the other one, not this one. Okay, we're going to leave that one there poking. There we go. Okay, and you can see we are on the foundation. Okay, so we're good. Now we have to start going up the sides, okay? And what I do is I do something like this. Now you can do this with foundation blocks or you can do this with walls, okay? It's really up to you. It's going to take quite a few of them, but this is how you're going to do it. And you don't have to do it this way. You can go single if you want. You can go walls if you want. I prefer to go foundations. I think it looks more structurally sound to use foundations instead of walls. And the foundations, it doesn't make a big deal in the water because you can't really shoot in the water anyhow. Cannonballs pretty much is obstructed. What's it obstructed by? What the heck? Alright, maybe we'll be going to walls now. But this also works. We seen that gate snap, right? So what do we got here? I don't know. I'm just going to take these all the way to the surface. Let's go over to the other side. I'm going to pull the gate out. But what I'm going to do is, and this is where it's kind of, this is part of building an Atlas. You're going to burn materials. It's just kind of the way it is sometimes. Sometimes you can't get it all in the first shot. Sometimes you can't get it that way because right now I'm using that gate as a starting point to go up. I seen it connect. It wants to snap to this left side here. So I'm going to let it snap. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to put another wall down here connected to this other one so that it will snap to it easy. And then I'm going to start laying foundation blocks down. And when all that's done, I'm going to pull the gate out. See, because what happens is a lot of times you can set all these down, but once the gate is in, it won't let you place anything. So what you can do is, if you know exactly how wide the gate is, I really didn't check it on this time. Maybe we'll check it outside. If you know exactly how wide the gate is, what you can do is, here we go. Hopefully it'll snap to these. Well, I have the one. I don't need the other. I just needed to know where to go up at. Okay, now we can pull the gate out. All right, there we go. Now we can pull the gate out. And we are going to start dropping blocks all the way up. And like I said, you can use walls. I just like the blocks. I know some people don't like the blocks because they're 5,000 HP versus wall 10, but you got to remember the wall's twice as big, so it's an easier target. Often when you're trying to shoot at blocks, the block above it and below it also shares the damage. And so you're not really just getting the 5K from that one block. And also, when you are building blocks in, oh wow, man, this is going to take a minute. All right, we're going to do this. We're going to get rid of all that junk. All right, now we're going to go down. There we go, much, much faster. We like that. Okay. But what happens is if you knock out one block in like a block wall, like when we built our dock behind me here, it means nothing to have one block knocked out. And one block is super easy to replace. There we go, we're getting these popped up pretty good. And so I don't mind using, the blocks. I like the blocks. Foundation blocks. Like I said, just use your preference. You want to just throw a base foundation down here and start throwing walls all the way up it because it covers more of the ground faster, go for it. Yeah, that looks fairly close. Okay. Let's go down and get the other side. like, again, I wore the suit because I knew I was going to be down here a while. I didn't want to monkey with sharks and manises, and so I get sharks in this area here quite often, so you can do it without the suit if you want, you know. In fact, visually, it's a whole lot easier to see everything, but, you know, it's a bit more of a pain because you have to worry about sharks. You should have a buddy or something to come with you and do it. Okay, there we go. Alright, that's us. Now we're gonna go over here. We're gonna throw those out. Alright, we're gonna go back to our schooner. We're gonna climb up on the deck. We're gonna take the suit off. We're gonna go grab another gate. There's our schooner. I just realized I don't have a... Oh, look at that. They were above the... Okay, now they're under the water. It's okay. Actually, I might have a game over here. I forgot. Here, stone, large, right there. Okay, one more of those. Okay, you can't equip a diving suit when you're encumbered, and so the trick is just throw those. No, okay, I gotta still be able to grab them. I'm gonna move them out to where they're easier to grab. Put them over here by the food. Yeah, you can't put the diving suit on when you're encumbered, but once it's on, you can pick. Come on. There we go. I was gonna say I had the same problem before I started the video. Okay, there we go. So you just gotta put the suit on first, then you can grab your weight and go sploosh. There we go. And I sink pretty good because I'm pretty heavy, but I'm not even pushing, you know, C to go down. I'm just going. Okay, here we go. Let's see what we can do. Oh, right there. See? Bam. It went right down, no problem. Okay, so while we're at it, let's count how wide we need to be, okay, for you guys, so you don't have to do this. You'll know exactly how wide to go, where to put your walls, and how tall it is, with blocks. Okay, so we have, you know you're going to have to put your wall out here, okay? Your wall's not going to be able to go dead on the edge here. You're probably going to want to go one more wider, and then put two walls side by side on the very edge. So we're going to start... We're gonna count the actual width of the wall of the gate first, and then we're gonna add one more for each side, which is a total of 2. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so it's 10 wide, plus 2 more for the overhang for your walls for you to snap to. That's 12. Okay, and so you heard it. 10 wide, plus 1 overhang on each side. That's a total of 12. And then what you do is you put your walls, after you've created your 2 wide of your foundation, okay, like this, so that your entire top of your wall is totally covered left to right by foundation. I'll explain that in a minute, but you want 2 wide. Okay, so now let's count them. Okay, we're not going to count the first row as your original foundation. We're going to count above it. Okay, we're going to count how many more you need beyond your base foundation to get to the top of the gate. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Okay, you've seen it. 24 is right there. And we will go down and we will count these again. Just to make sure, because that middle there got a little quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Right there. There we are. 24. And that almost, notice that right there, guys, because this could actually help you too. All right, I put that schooner down right where the anchor would first. What I did is I started heading towards the land, and I was spamming X, and the moment it let me drop it, it dropped it. So this is the deepest a schooner can drop its anchor, okay? And I'm showing you that because if you put down one set of foundation here, okay, the rear set, these back ones here, this was one set. You had to go forward one more, okay, to get to the center of your door, so it was down the middle of the two. And so you laid your foundation. We know that these were actually a total of 2 tall, because the first set, it was a steep angle. You won't always get that here, okay? You're gonna have to make up the difference when you're building. If your area is flat, you don't need to go in too deep right here. Okay, so, but notice here, when you come up, it's 24 to the top of this large gate, and we only went 1, 2, 3. We went 3 more, and those very top ones are going in and out of the water. They're the same height pretty much as that ship. There's that schooner right there. So what that tells you is that a schooner, its deepest point with its anchor is a hair deeper. It's a couple blocks deeper than the height of a total large stone gate. Okay? So we're going to go back down here. No, we're going to go back up here now that we already have all that done. We're going to go up here, and we're going to slow ourselves down. Okay, we moved on the surface. That's okay. This one here. Okay, now you're going to want some roofs. I'm sorry, some ceilings, some stone ceilings. And we got to go underwater. Right there. See where I put that? It's going right across. It's barely catching. It's barely catching inside that gate. But this is what I want you to understand. That gate has no snap points other than for its door. Come on, let me back down. Okay, that gate has no snap points other than for the door. So these ceiling pieces here, they are not snapping to the gate. They are snapping to the foundation or the wall that you put up there. Okay? And so, but this is why we had to have the foundation all the way across. This right here, what I'm doing right now, okay? You cannot do that. You cannot put these all the way across like that unless you have foundation all the way across. That is how the coding is set up to build in Atlas. The way they have it set up for official is you have to be within 3. Come on, give it to me. You have to be within 3 right, 3 left. You have to have a foundation block. And so some of you might be thinking, okay, so why don't I just put a foundation block out on the edge of the stone gate, and then maybe halfway through the doorway, the door frame, I drop another one, and then all the way over on the other side, I drop another one. It doesn't work that way. They have to be linked. They have to be touching each other. Because sometimes if you, I don't know if you got, yeah, I've done videos in my other stone gate video where it's next to my huge stone base I was making there, where I put that huge stone gateway up. That roof was only able to be fully enclosed because of the way I laid the foundation on the ground. Okay? The only blocks in the game that will allow you to put something over top of them, regardless of height. I've not reached a height limit yet, regardless of height, is the foundation blocks. You cannot do this with ceiling pieces like those. You have to have a foundation under it. That's why we wanted this whole foundation to be solid. That's very, very critical. If you get that wrong, everything else you build over top of it will be wrong. It won't even work, in fact. Okay, so we're going to try to drop these down. Alright, there we go. Stone's a pain to make. Okay. Thank goodness it's all fiber now, right? Instead of the paste. That's gonna help a ton. Most of us could get fiber, but the paste was a whole different story. It was a ton of work to get that paste. I still can't believe that garbage that happened on M6. They've not done anything about it either. M6 has not been fixed yet. Every person that got kicked out of that island because of that person duping those tiles, duping those gates and putting them all up around the entire island, everyone got kicked out of it. Officials done nothing about it. So while you can do this on official, I don't know that maybe you don't want to stay there. I, for one, have a bit of a problem playing on a server where the devs are not going to uphold the standards of the server. It's a PvE server. PvE players should not be combating other players to keep their properties. And what they did there was as much of an attack as anything I've ever seen. So, but maybe they'll still do something. Maybe it's in the works. Maybe they're putting in a fix. I don't know. But that exploit that was done on M6 on that island to surrounding gates was horrible. Okay, so we got those up, right? So what we're going to do now is we are going to pop these other blocks out. We know how tall we had to go. We got there. See, I popped one right out of the center and the others didn't fall. It's another reason I like using blocks. Because they're like, you can do that. Like, you don't have to worry about everything coming crumbling down if you lose a block or something in the center. Okay, let's try to get this out of the right there. Okay, because now we're going to come over. Actually, we're going to leave them over there. We're going to come over here, and we are going to put down our walls, our snap walls. There's one. Remember, it was the outer two we wanted. There's one. Okay. Okay, one will go inside, the other one will be outside on the blocks. Okay. Okay. The guy's crawling, probably because he's overweight. Alright, we're going to try to get rid of some of this. What we need now is to get back far enough. Oh yeah, we're moving on up there. Okay, you just seen it. It instantly wanted to snap to that wall I put up. There you go. You just stacked, okay, for those that wanted to put these in the water, now you know how. The wood ones are done the same way. Okay, the difference is the wood ones don't have the... When the door goes in, you kind of get a bit of an overhang over top. But hey, I don't know what you're going to do with this, and I'm not even going to begin to start spitting out ideas because I've had a zillion ideas for doing stuff like this. But you just seen it, okay? I just put down a foundation too wide, okay, because that's how wide your gate is. It's 24 high, the door's 10 wide, plus one extra on either side makes 12. Put down 2 walls on the right, 2 walls on the left, and then pop in and out of K mode, okay, with your K key, until it wants to snap to one of them. And you'll know it snaps because what it does is it usually just about puts the wall dead center of the gate, on that side of the gate. And once it's there, click it down. If it for some reason it gets off axis or something and drops down somewhere else, just go pick it up. Go over, press E, go pick it up. You know, drop it down again, you'll get it. So you've seen the foundation placed, you've seen the gate placed, you see me run the pillars up one side, right? And you also seen I had to pull the gate out. I had to pull it out, drop all the foundation blocks, which was 24. If you're using walls, that's going to be 12 walls, right? And then I had to come back in. I dropped the walls back here in the bottom for snap points, and then I dropped the gate back right in the center of them. No problem. And then up here, you could probably get away with not putting this here. These here, like, look, I'll show you. You could probably get away with, you probably don't even need these, okay? These were probably not even needed. I put them in just to show you how to put across there. All you really needed was these 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 right there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 over here for something for it to sit on top of. That's it. I'm going to, what do we got here? Those are connected to that block. So what I'm going to do is, you see this one here? You see these are part way. I'm going to pull these. I'm going to pull all the ones after it. Okay, there we go. Pull this one. There we go. Okay, and we're just going to disconnect these over here. I'm staying away from the ones that are being partially used on purpose for now. We're going to find out in a minute if we pull those out, if it breaks everything. It might, but we'll find out there. I pulled out the right and the left because if you pull out the right and the left, obviously nothing's holding it, the rest are going to fall. Okay, so there you go. Okay, now you've got a foundation, a gate, and another gate stacked on top. And the way you did it is you build blocks up the side or walls, and you connected it at the 24 mark for the foundations with these 4. I just don't want anyone to misunderstand how this was done, okay? Go back and watch the video again. Now we're going to pull these and see if it doesn't wreck it, okay? And make sure you're grabbing your stone ceiling. Yeah, okay. We're going to grab this one. Okay. I would still recommend 4, okay? So there's no problem with something in the way or it won't go down or whatever. I would still put 4 in there. But, I don't know, maybe you're going to sail a ship through these, right? Because now you got a door on the bottom and the door on the top. And I think brigs fit. I do believe galleons will not. Not in the big gates. I think I tried it before. And I found that, yeah, the galleons are too wide. So you're still going to have to put your galleons out where they're going to be, you know, where they can get destroyed or whatever. But, okay. Let's go over here. Let's pull off our suit. I brought the small gates with me too. You do the small gates the same way. I don't have off the top of my head how wide the smalls are. You're going to have to just build a foundation, drop a small on it, check how wide it is, then go pick it back up. I think the smalls are... Actually, I can go look at the castle over there. I have smalls in the castle over there. We'll go look at it over there before we close the door. Come on, get me on there, baby. We don't need these now, so let's get rid of the weight. Let's get rid of the weight because we were breaking them. Okay, look at that. Beautiful. You can do something like that and close in a whole area. Build a straight line all the way across like we did that dock right there. That dock actually goes all the way to the ground. Except build it all the way across here. You could run gates all the way across it. Out in the water. like, I have no way up. Okay. Let's go take a peek. I always intended to build an arena like that. That's probably what we're going to do because we've learned a lot about running our dock here this way. What we've learned is, while we did angle the right and the left, see they come in at, I don't know what that angle is. Maybe it's 45. Yeah, it's probably about 45 degrees. Ships can come in and kind of curve themselves in and use this whole dock area, but what we found is you can't really fit very many when you're talking about brigs and galleons. So what we're going to do is build another one out, kind of probably even farther out than those walls or those gates are. Probably twice that distance from the dock, and we're going to build a whole nother one coming up from the ground that is like maybe 4 or 6 or 8 wide, except it's not going to connect on the right and the left, so it's going to just be a big long island out there that ships can just pull right up next to, and right there's your dock. You can pull up next to it on the right or the left. We're not sure how we're going to tie it in yet. Haven't figured it all out. Maybe we'll use gates. Maybe that's how we're going to do it. Okay, so let's go look at the small. This is the small gates. Okay. So here you can see the small gates. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. They're actually, what I do, small gates are actually easier to place because what you do is you put down 4 foundation blocks, right? And put down 4 foundation blocks, 2 wide, you know, or 2 deep, right? And then you put your wall on the right one and on the left one. This one right here would get a wall in the center right there. And these one, this is exactly how I place these. And then this one here would get another solid wall right here. And then when you come up here and you go to place it, you keep trying to place it till it snaps to those walls. And it will snap right in between those 2 walls. Once it snaps, boom, place it, you're done. And then you can just keep placing walls down the center of it all the way up. Strangely enough, you can put walls down the center of it once the gate's placed, but you can't put blocks next to it. That's what we got to see out there. Okay, so now you know how wide the smalls are. The smalls are 4 wide. You don't need another overhang because it'll be way over here. You don't need it. The 4th one works great. And still 2 deep. I'm trying to see if there's really anything else to really go over with this, with the gates and building, stacking, doing it in the water, how to build the foundations, why we build the foundations. And remember, like, some of you might try to pull like a fast one and be like, well, you only put ceiling pieces on the right and the left above the first gate. That's what that other gate is sitting on top of. You're right. Okay, so we didn't do anything down the center. So why do I need foundations down the center down below? Can I like break those out or whatever? Don't. Seriously, don't. Leave it solid. Because if you ever want to put anything up above that other gate that's out of the water, you're going to need that foundation down there. That foundation is the only thing that allows you to place across that huge gap right there. Okay? Across the... It's funny because I'm looking at a marker, but you guys can't see the marker. That's the only thing that allows you to place from the right gate to the left gate, is that foundation way down there in the water. Oh, I know what I was going to do. I was going to come over here, and we were going to get on the new brig build. This has actually been upgraded since the video. I did a little bit of interior. The interior is not done yet. Actually need to come back out of here. I changed it because if you look, it's got double armor around the entire thing. I was able to do double armor. Actually, it's like quad armor in the back corner. It's ridiculous. And I'm just showing this. Again, the brig, the armored brig, okay, which is what I call an attack cruiser, it is not built for speed. If you want speed, go get in a schooner and put minimal weight on it. Put all your points into weight. That's where you're going to get your speed. Brigs were not made for speed, because if you notice in the game, the speed between the sloop is slower than schooners. Schooners are faster, but schooners are faster than brigs, which the 3rd ship up is the brig, and then the galleon is faster than the sloop and the brig. Okay, but the galleon and the schooner, when they're both running full speed, they run comparatively. And so the brig was never meant for speed. Okay, so if you're trying to use a brig out there for speed, you're using it wrong. All right, the brig was built for a jump between the schooner and the galleon, and it's better set up as you could even call it a destroyer, okay, because you can build it that way. And some will be like, well, the galleon's a destroyer. The galleon's a destroyer for a huge group of people. The brig can be built far, far, far cheaper than galleons. And it can be just as deadly, if not more deadly than the galleon, because its maneuverability is far superior to the galleon. Okay? And if you get really hot sails on it, the brig can be very quick. But in default trim, it's not. Okay, it's what is it? I want to say it was like 4, 5, 6 seconds in total. I forget what the distance was, slower than the brig, or I'm sorry, than the galleon and the schooner. And so really the whole point is that you're not going to get speed and armor together. And so, you know, I don't know if some people came to that build thinking, oh, we're going to get a speed build, you know, that's fully armored and equipped with tons of guns. It's like, no, those don't go together. If you're looking for speed, your schooner is your ship for speed. If you want speed beyond the brig, get the galleon. The difference is the galleon can't turn to save its life. And we all know that. The thing is like 10 miles to turn. Even with a handling sail, it still takes, you know, 9.5 miles to turn. Okay. So, but you can see right here, I think it's pretty evident that the brig is not going to fit through there. In fact, it will just get stuck. I'm not even going to pull it off the dock and try it. I was going to pull it off the dock and show you guys, but I'm not because I think it's pretty evident. It may actually, it might fit in base trim. Maybe. You know what? Check it here. I just want to be thorough. So we're going to check this real quick. I'm going to grab one more. I'm going to grab one more gate over here. I'm going to grab a large gate. I'm going to show you guys. I don't think it'll fit. I think when I was on official last, I checked it because I was like, you know what? I'm going to create a big gate and I'm going to prevent people from coming into the bay area and I'm going to block it all off just to protect the bay. And I was like, oh shoot, I can't because the brig won't fit. And the brig is pretty much my main ship. I don't really mess with galleons much, but that's a whole nother video in itself. But I'm just going to show you guys over here. Okay, here we go. Right down the center of the brig. That's a brig shell right there. Okay. So, okay, that's what I was thinking too. I was like, maybe if it's not fully armored, it might fit. And to be honest, with the distance we're seeing here, it might fit armor, but it's going to be very tight. I think you're going to be rubbing and scrubbing and, you know, you're going to have to fix your paint and maybe repair some armor panels, but it might just squeeze through there. But you can see here that a brig, even a non-armored brig, will fit through the large gate. An armored one is going to be very tight. So it's up to you how you run that. A galleon, absolutely, without a doubt, will not fit. We're going to verify it. We don't need to check the schooner. I don't even work with the sloop. So sloops are so weak, they're more of an annoyance than anything else. Put a fire gun on and go have some fun. Okay, I think it's pretty much self-evident that the galleon will not fit. Yeah, that's what I thought before too. It's like, it's just too wide, it doesn't fit. The new Indian ship in the modded things, for those that are not on official, that one might fit because I heard it's tall and narrow. If it's narrower than the galleon, if it's considered, you know, if it's comparable to the brig, it might fit. But you can see here that the galleon won't fit. The brig under stock trim will fit. An armored brig may or may not fit depending on how you built it. Alright guys, this is Otto. Like, subscribe, man. If this helped you in any way, guys, just giving it a thumbs up really helps. You don't have to agree with everything I've said here, but if it's helped you in any way, that's really why I put these out, is to help people, and that's really what the thumbs up is for, is, hey, the video helped me. And I'll see you guys in the next one. I was going to do another one today, I just do not recall what it was. gonna give a little foreshadowing and drop a little hint here on what it was gonna be to. Ah, well, we'll figure it out when it gets dropped. You guys will see it when it goes hot on the channel. All right, this is Auto out. See you in the next.